I'm Jared Hoffman.
I'm Trevor Talenko.
Maverick Vo.
Richard Larder.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of NerdTalk! So, if you couldn't figure it out, we just saw Star Wars.
The Last Jedi.
That one.
You're doing that way wrong.
So, what'd you guys think?
I really enjoy it.
It was a fantastic movie. It was definitely on my top 3, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it's on my top 3.
I agree with Jared, for sure.
It was a very fantastically good movie.
It was fun. It had some disappointments for me, but...
Oh, really?
I enjoyed it.
Like,
Don't get me wrong.
Okay. Since you clearly just threw the elephant into the room, what problems do you have with it?
Should I go into detail or just do you want to name them?
Well,
you can actually...
You can name them, but go off with, the most important, actually, go into detail.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of, combat to me. There wasn't a lot of, action, I felt.
Oh, I understand that.
The opening, it wasn't even really a battle. I felt like they just flew in and got destroyed and barely accomplished their mission. But everyone died.
Doggy! Bobby! And now, since we're back, you were talking about how there was no action. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, the opening scene, while it was kind of an action scene, it wasn't really a battle. It was more of the rebels trying to bomb a ship, and they barely succeeded, but in other words, failing miserably because they all died. And there was never really an even fight, kind of
Well, I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose. I'd like to think so, because the whole tone of the movie was, it's hopeless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
But I do enjoy the little specks of lightsaber action.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. I loved that. I loved it when Rey and Kylo joined forces. Ooh,
oh, yeah, definitely.
That was awesome. That was a good scene. For the whole 5 minutes that it happened, it was a
The part of that scene I really enjoyed was how realistic it was that they weren't able to just kill them all with a swipe each. Even trained, well, maybe not necessarily trained on Rey's side, but even being prominent Force users, they still actually have a great deal of trouble taking down these elite guards, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I was kind of bugged out about that whole fight was with the fact that they never used the Force during that fight.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing and shoving.
Yeah.
All the classics.
They do it especially Kylo. Kylo uses it all the time to assert his authority.
But he did use the choke.
But that's
choke
mind stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, even in that fight, he wasn't able to stop them or pull them back or pull them down, or neither of them did that. And that's kind of something that did irk me about that fight, especially with those elite guards. It was really, they were cool guards. I really liked their armor and everything.
Oh, yeah,
it was
nice.
awesome.
That was nice.
And
each of them having their own weapon. That was very.
They had a lightsaber, not for Jedi.
It was well, there are weapons like that in the Star Wars universe where weapons are either energized or there are two adjoining just little emitters that form that laser for the blade.
Captain Phasma has a bow staff.
Yeah.
That was a really super pointy bow staff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, speaking of Phasma,
that would have taken.
Is she dead?
Oh, I mean,
I'm
I feel like
optimistic.
she's really dead. Yeah.
I'm hoping, because I mean, I thought she was gone in the first movie. Then they were all like,
that scene didn't even make sense to me. Where the rebel carrier
went to Lightspeed.
Yeah, right through the ships, and she was right next to where Finn and Rose were sitting. Right when that happened, but after it happened, it was Finn and Rose, and Phasma and a bunch of clones came in from like the other side of the room. I don't. That doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, then
Did
again,
guys
you have
notice
to think about the idea that something going light speed is going 2,999,000,000 meters per second. That's fast.
He needs research on that one.
The glasses say a lot about me.
We've been telling him that for years.
But it would kind of throw a ship off kilter a little bit and make everything go Willy Wonka's.
It seemed
So,
like I know it
You
seemed
get
like
thrown 50 feet.
they were
in the
like
air.
unaffected by it almost. I don't know.
I mean, then again, they are specially trained in
With
order to
artificial
adapt.
gravity and some form of inertial dampeners, 50 feet was probably lucky.
Yeah, and the thing is that also they had to they're trained to adapt to situations. So, I mean, that's I guess.
You got to run to go get your weapons, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they probably already had their weapons.
But I did enjoy that fight scene with Finn and Phasma.
I was
That really
kind
good.
of
Yeah.
happy with that. I was like, it's kind of funny because he's got his ass beat
Definitely.
with the weapon that he was using against Phasma. I was like, this is a good time. It's a good
Yeah,
time.
that was good.
Very good
Nostalgia.
job. Very good job.
Good job, Finn.
Good job. Good job, Finn. Jumbo Ega.
But
I was actually really surprised with how well they were able to keep the flow of the movie going with basically the two main characters being so far apart, both geographically and continuity-wise.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially when
Yeah.
it's always like for The Force Awakens, it's always Rey and Finn. But this time, they separated with another different partnership, as in Rey is with Luke and Finn is with Rose.
I feel like
Yeah.
Poe had a bigger part than Finn in this.
Oh yeah,
like a
definitely.
bigger part than
I agree.
Huge than
let me.
I mean, the
hated-
Dreadnought by itself, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of a jerk in that aspect. I mean, then again, that is his character, impulsive and crazy.
Right.
But that lady, I don't remember her name.
The one who take.
Oh,
So control over-
Admiral something.
yeah.
She's a potty word. She's a potty word. I didn't like her, and then she did the whole light speed into Snoke's ship,
that's
and
just
then I was
to-
like,
That was cool.
okay.
Just to redeem herself.
I mean, she's
Well,
a heroic
if
potty
you didn't
word.
pick up on the fact that the ship was running out of fuel right as they were passing that rebel base on the planet, and it was even implied that she did that on purpose. And there was even a moment where they went on Poe, where it's just like, oh, hey, how about that?
You know, let's talk about Snoke.
Oh, the Devil Snoke. Oh my God.
Nope.
So much
What do you mean by no? What do you mean by no?
I mean he had like I feel like he had so much more potential. Like in Force Awakens, he was like a giant head. I thought they were gonna like expand so much more on his character.
Like a more engaging story.
But I mean, he really didn't do anything he didn't do in the first movie other than die.
I mean-
which I did not expect and I didn't like either.
To-
I feel like, yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, there was so much speculation behind it. Some people
Yeah.
were saying it was Master Sifo-Dyas mentioned in Revenge of the Sith. Others are saying that it's potentially a Mace Windu driven mad. I mean, there was so much speculation
Or
and potential
he
that they
could
could have
be
put
like-
behind this.
Yeah,
could
I thought he
literally-
was gonna be Plagueis.
He was also
I thought
burnt.
he was gonna be Plagueis.
He was also burnt to a crisp and tossed out of a building. You'd be pretty pale too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But like, I thought it was gonna be played just like you said.
I mean, you saw his face.
Yeah, his face was pretty screwed up.
It would have made sense.
He was like Two-Face everywhere.
So he was one face.
One face, Two-Face, red face, blue face.
But like with Plagueis, I really thought it was like Snoke was just an alias, and he was actually Plagueis.
Yeah.
But no, I was really surprised that he actually was.
Yeah, he just like kind of reminded me of Palpatine for some reason.
Yeah,
Like every time I look at him, he's like some kind of
probably
like
'cause
foreshadows
he's
of
crazy.
Palpatine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did do the lightning.
He did have the quick,
Yeah, the
quick
little
bit of
like
like
reach and
Sith
like
lightning.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was kind of happy to see that, but then I was like, wait.
It was so quick.
How
The
did
death
he-
was really quick.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I want to
And-
know why they wasted such a powerful character.
I know.
Because he's like reading Kylo's mind, and he's moving Rey all these different ways without lifting a finger. He's just sitting there
You
chilling
don't
like
know.
a villain. No,
Yeah.
chilling like a villain. She's moving all around. He was like, yeah.
There was a
Oh,
scene.
okay.
There was a scene that kind of. So my mom was kind of like she's like, okay, Ray and Ben are related, and I was like, no, they're not, Mom. You crazy. And
You crazy.
And then there was a scene where they were actually like communicating to each other through these through like really great distances, and I was like, oh crap, maybe she's right. And then Snoke said, oh, I was connecting your minds, and I was like, okay, cool, Mom, you're not right anymore. And then they did it again at the end of the movie, and I was like, no, wait. And then it got me thinking about you guys remember the scene where she goes into the dark side on
Into
the
the
island.
hole?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
into
hole.
the hole,
She
yeah.
goes into the dark
And
hole.
then she does
Those
like the
were, like-
mirror thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she goes
That
to the
was
very.
trippy.
Oh gosh.
Those
it
were
was-
like
oh,
the
yeah.
best parts of the movie in my opinion.
It was very emotionally like enveloping in my opinion. But whenever she walked up to the mirror and said, "Who are my real parents?" Whenever she touched the glass and saw herself, that made me think of like she was like the forces. You know how like with Anakin.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
it made
see
me
what
think
you're
that
talking about.
she is a child of the Force.
Oh yeah. That just made me think of the kid at the very end of the movie
I was like, bro, did you see that?
Yeah.
with the broom. That made me think of Anakin when he was a kid.
Yeah, he looked.
Because he
Yeah.
was working, he was kind of like a slave, kind of on that planet. Like,
Oh,
Tatooine,
yeah.
he was
Yeah,
an
slave on
animal.
Tatooine.
And
I was like, and then it made me think like, no matter what, the Force is always going to create a Jedi, no matter what people want.
I never
like,
thought about that.
Yeah, no, dude, it made me think like,
I think like the most chilling part for me was Yoda's cameo.
that was
By the way he just hops in.
Here's the thing. Before we go any further, we have to take a second to realize that this was the puppet from
Yes! Oh
the
my God!
first
Oh,
three movies,
yes!
and not the computer generated.
Oh my
from
God,
The
That's
prequels.
why I love it so
cannot
much.
tell
That,
you.
It
that
gave
was
me
such
the
a
chills.
genius move to use the puppet instead of that CG garbage.
It gave me, it made me smile. I was like
I know.
genuinely happy when I saw that. I was like,
Lots of chills and goosebumps.
let me tell
everywhere,
you,
literally.
whatever he said, I took some life advice from Yoda from that movie. Like,
I mean, it's kinda hard not to.
I mean, true. But like, whenever he said failure is the best teacher, I was like, oh, yep. One of the things that I wanted to touch base on was, do you guys think that we're going to see Mark Hamill in another movie, in the next movie?
I think that's.
Yes.
I feel like that's it.
Yeah. I mean,
Same way
I
we
feel
saw
like that's-
Han Solo in this one.
I mean, about
Yeah,
about
that's
Luke
what I mean.
Skywalker's death and the way he was looking at, it was like that other series, A New Hope, right? And the way he was looking at the sunrise, and that felt to me like it's the end. Like literally, that's it.
So you were
And that's
interpreting that
and-
as like a sunset?
Right.
So that's me.
That's
that
like
it's
a
done
great
with
way
Mark
to
Hamill.
end Mark's Hamill legacy as Luke Skywalker.
Do you don't so you guys don't think that he's going to come back as a
I
as a
felt like
ghost?
there's no
I
reason
think
to make
that's
him come
possible.
back because, like, at the end, they pretty much stated that this is a new generation and we need to move on. Like,
well, I mean,
we-
then again, they did bring back Yoda.
I feel like Ray
Right.
might see him in the next one. Like,
Okay, that-
I,
I
don't
mean-
know. I mean, I could see that he not either.
Maybe
but-
he
I
might
would
like
call
come
it
back as
50-50 because Ben came back in Ben Kenobi.
Right.
Came back in 2 movies. Yoda managed to come back in this one, even though we only saw him for 1.
So maybe Mark Hamill.
But of
yeah.
course, with him in the prequels, he kind of had to come back. And Mark Hamill being the icon that he is, I think it's really up in the air right now.
What about those new creatures?
Yeah, I was
love it.
just thinking about that.
Porgs!
What do you think they're gonna?
I love them. They're so cute. So cute. I want one.
Lots of comedy, little small comedy in Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I think it's
They
more
did
than
pretty good.
It's more than Force Awakens to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. I think the part that was really funny was when Rey was feeling the Force, and and Luke Skywalker was giving him like the.
Oh
little
yeah.
feel.
Oh my
and she was
God.
like,
Yeah,
she was like,
yeah, that was-
I feel the Force.
Ow.
Do you feel something? Yeah, you feel it's really good. Smack.
And at the beginning, where she gave him his lightsaber, and he's just like, shoved it off the cliff behind him.
That was perfect because you're expecting him to say these like real profound words. It's just after you see it, it's one of those things. Just like, yeah, you really couldn't have done that better.
Luke Skywalker, you are a savage.
That's
all I have to say.
He was like, I hid this across the galaxy. I did not want to see this ever again.
Actually, I was really surprised because I thought he was going to be like a gray Jedi, but he kind of wasn't. He was just kind of like done with the Force in general. And then
But how powerful was he when you reunited, though?
yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
He's pretty crazy to be able to put himself in a different location. That's pretty nuts.
Well, I mean, just when him and Rey kind of fought right there for a second, she whipped out the lightsaber. He fell down,
yeah, they grabbed
but
the
notice he
stick.
like stopped an inch before the ground and then just like slowly let himself down from there.
It's that Skywalker's blood, man. I think I know one. When they have a background story on Ben Solo, why he's turning to the
Oh,
dark
yeah.
side.
yes,
Ah,
that was pretty crazy. One, why did Luke lie about it?
Yeah.
It made he didn't. I don't know. He wanted Rey on his side.
I mean, yeah.
He didn't lie about it. He just left out a particular
that he tried
the
to kill
detail
him.
that he tried to kill him.
Yeah.
And then Kylo, being just like a little whiny baby, twisted it into
Well,
what
no.
we saw there. No, he definitely twisted that view.
Well, yeah, I understand. I can see how that is. But if I woke up and someone had the most deadliest weapon in the galaxy hovering it over my body, I'd freak out a lot too. I mean, just saying.
Right.
Anyone would. And
I'm not saying him freaking out wasn't justified. I'm just saying you saw the difference between Luke telling the truth, and then when Kylo told it, like, with that image we're seeing is Luke just like livid.
Yeah.
And like the only reason why Kylo, like you could see in Luke's face in that image that the only reason Kylo wasn't already dead was because he got lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the image that we saw for that.
Kind of age.
And a little bit of resemblance to Anakin Skywalker too.
How so?
Like the way, like fear,
Like the
hate,
conflict?
Yeah, the conflict.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's what, Ben Solo's going to be. Like
Runs
he's
in
kind
the
of,
blood.
runs in the blood, or he's like another path to becoming Darth Vader, second Darth Vader.
Carrie Fisher.
Bruh.
See, I tried to start that when you guys
Yeah.
started the cute animals
Yeah,
thing, and I feel like that's going to look bad on film.
I picked up on that.
Yeah.
See, I hated the scene where she's supposed to be dead and she's not dead. When she's floating in space.
Yeah, that was
should've been dead.
It made me cringe, kind of. Like how
Yeah.
she started like
Awesome.
instead of flying through space.
And she just like flies towards the ship.
She looks like a freaking angel just going, "Ooh."
Yeah,
so how do you think they're gonna deal with that in the next movie?
I heard I don't know if it was a rumor or somebody told me like what they would prefer is that all I'll say about it is that it would be smart to have a little bit of a time jump
That's what I think
at
too.
the next movie.
Yeah.
Like
mean, they
even
can.
just
Fisher
like
dies.
a year or two.
Oh, yeah.
And they have some in the like they could even start it off with
From a
like
graveyard scene or
the
something.
funeral of General Organa.
And that, I would actually be really happy with that, to be honest.
That, yeah.
Like, it would, we would probably get the whole, like, how it does the text roll. We'd probably get the whole, like, she passed away of a disease or something like that.
Or just
yeah.
of natural
Or
causes.
just natural causes, and we now go to Rey and the others as the funeral.
Then they're both
on-
much more honed, like her and Kylo Ren.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about Leia and
makes sense.
everything.
And then Kylo wouldn't have that conflict anymore. Because you saw, even when he was in his personal craft, he went to fire on the bridge and didn't.
Yeah, he was in his personal little
Like,
conflict about killing
Finger on the
Yeah.
button, took finger
But he
off the
doesn't-
button, someone else did it.
He doesn't know that Luke died.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's like that was his like sole objective.
Kill,
Like when he
yeah.
came, he was like, "Fire on that man!"
And I was,
At
How,
first-
great was that, though?
Yeah, at first
Oh,
I
so
actually
good.
kind of believed
And then-
that was the real look. I was like,
I was really
did he just like do a force field? Like that was kind of.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know what he did, but it was badass. And then he walked out just...
I first knew that it was fake. It was a hologram because of the way.
yeah,
his beard,
like
the
I was
color
like,
of his
wait,
hair.
how did what did he
Yes,
use like
because
that
he had-
Rogaine men like coloring hair?
Yeah, because he had no way of cutting his hair before he
Yeah,
got
he
there.
looked
No,
like
no, but his
younger.
hair was
Yeah, he
gray
looks
and
more
frizzled,
And he had like the black, like the
yeah,
battle robe.
and then
on.
his beard was all gray and
Yeah.
not.
But it wasn't
trim.
so gray that you wouldn't have believed that just a cut would have done it.
No, it was gray enough. At least I would have been like, this is weird.
I
Yeah,
saw
I
some, like,
agree.
not as gray under the gray, if
there
you
was
guys know what I
gray
mean.
here. There was gray here.
Oh, yeah,
there was
definitely.
Gray here.
Especially
I
his
found
long
it very
hair, too.
believable that he cleaned himself up before facing Kylo Ren.
I mean, to be honest, I was like, oh, is this really him? Because this makes me really kind of confused. Why the heck does he look like he's in his 50s and not in his 70s?
Why did he have to die though? Like, did it just like use so much strength out of him? To
Probably.
It could have
that he just
been.
died?
Yeah.
To be honest,
I mean,
with
Let's
like,
have you project an image to everybody in the battlefield across the galaxy. Let's see how good you're feeling after that. So, what'd you guys think of the movie overall?
because I felt that it wasn't a doomsday movie, which was great, and it's a whole new spin-off on the Star Wars universe. I'm gonna give it 9.5 BB-8s out of 10.
I'll drop you to Panema Terminal.
Wrong movie, buddy.
Sorry, I had to. Hey, he was in that movie too.
He was, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, what do you think, buddy?
So, because it had a good flow to it, and I do have to say they did a very good job with the tones they set, I will give it 8 out of 10.
Interesting.
See, I paused.
Well, lots of action, lots of impact, and it sets out a whole new generation for Star Wars. So I will give it 9 out of 10. Do it. Do it.
I thought there was some parts I definitely didn't like, as you already saw. Kylo Ren had a lot of good character development, but overall, I enjoyed actually Force Awakens more than this one. I might get hate for that, but I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I love the movie, but
I respect it.
Just
It's wrong. I'm joking, man.
I value your opinion. This is a safe space.
Everyone-
You dirty SOB!
everyone has their own opinion for Star Wars.
You leave a comment
But-
down below. Hey,
We're not there
I want to
yet.
do that.
But
You will start, but we're not there yet.
But overall, it doesn't mean that we're bashing you guys, bashing Star Wars. We love the movie overall. So yeah, we just give you our thoughts and what we think.
Yeah, this
about
is
the
what
film.
we think and what we speculate and what we like to see. So we want to hear what you guys think.
Now it's my turn. Now I want you guys to leave a comment in the comment section below.
Also, leave a like.
Subscribe.
there you go. That's it. There's nothing else.
Thank you for waiting. We have an announcement.
Yes, just the one, unfortunately. But it's a good one. See, as you guys know, we put out Red Hood Uprising. We hope you guys like it. And we're going to take some of the momentum that we got going, and we're going to go even further.
Which is what?
Our fantasy matchup. We like to call them what ifs.
What if?
Our next what if you guys didn't hear, Rye of the Valiant Universe versus...
Deathstroke. Slade Wilson.
Did you say Deathstroke?
No, he did not. He said Deathstroke. So, we have been training vigorously to try and get ourselves in the shape and mental capability of performing Rye versus Deathstroke. Casting is still in progress. Once we have that figured out, we will announce it.
It's going to be very good. The training that these guys have been putting in is phenomenal. These guys are training a lot. And it's pretty awesome to watch them train. And I'm excited to see who's actually going to be casted as Deathstroke and Rye.
Thank you. You got anything you want to add?
Already knows.
Yeah, so be sure to check out upcoming latest news on Rye vs. Deathstroke down the link below. Follow us on Instagram. Yeah.
If you want notifications on anything we might post on YouTube, click that little bell button down there somewhere.
It's usually in the
Is it right here? No?
Is
Yeah.
it down here?
It's somewhere.
And for,
It's
those,
below the video, just right there.
and for those of you who haven't seen Red Hot Rising,
You tech-savvy millennials will find it.
and for those of you who haven't seen Red Hot Rising, it's right on the top, just above us. So
Are you going to put something right there?
Annotation.
You got to put something right there.
wait, over here.
See, now we have to put something
It's
right
over
there now.
Right there.
It's
If you guys
so
want to
cool.
see Durham Comic Con reacts to Red Hot Rising teaser trailer, it should be over there.
That's something you want to see first, though.
Yeah. But if you guys want to know about our production, it's right down there. So it's called
Really?
Street Nerds Introduction.
Good luck editing this.
Yeah.
Bye, guys!
See ya!